It is 3:30 in the morning in Mumbai. Millions are asleep, but the city's infrastructure is still humming with heavy traffic and artificial light. For Nisha, a 26-year-old content moderator finishing a brutal late shift, the vibrant energy of the metropolis means nothing. She is completely physically drained. Her only priority is securing a quiet, enclosed space for the commute home. She pulls out her phone, opens a ride-booking app, and waits for a mobile sanctuary. The app quickly pings with a match. Driver, Mahesh Patel, white car. It is the exact same driver the system has assigned to her for the third consecutive night. We trust the math behind these platforms to be random and efficient. When an algorithm spits out a statistical anomaly, like drawing the identical driver 3 times in a metropolis of 20 million people, an exhausted brain will dismiss it as a quirky coincidence, rather than recognizing it as a warning sign. Standard safety protocols for night commuters demand a rigid checklist before a passenger ever opens a car door. You physically match the license plate, you check the digital profile, and verify the driver's face. Once inside, the rules require active vigilance. You share your live location with a trusted contact, and you stay awake to track the GPS route against your own knowledge of the city. Blinded by fatigue, Nisha bypasses every single protocol. She drops her bags in the back seat, ignores the safety prompts on her screen, and lets her phone go dark. She effectively isolates herself in a moving, locked metal box with a completely unverified variable. The planned route should take the brightly lit, highly trafficked JVLR. Instead, the vehicle veers off course, plunging deep into the desolate, crumbling industrial corridors of the Andheri-Kurla Road. The warm city glow disappears, replaced by cold, isolated infrastructure. A sudden burst of static cuts through the cabin. The car's radio locks on to a localized broadcast. The announcer reads a nightly news bulletin, but the date he gives is explicitly July 2, 2012. Mahesh reaches over and snaps the radio off. He doesn't look in the rearview mirror. He coldly states that he prefers dead silence over the music. Outside the window, a massive hoarding for a Sai Darbar 24/7 restaurant drifts by in the dark. A few minutes later, the car rounds a bend, and the exact same hoarding appears again. Only this time, the edges of the 24/7 text are scorched black. The presence of a scorched billboard alongside a decade-old radio broadcast suggests a geography governed by something other than asphalt and GPS. The physical journey has detached from standard reality. A digital paradox snaps Nisha awake. Her coworker, Sana, calls, confused, standing at the office gate. Sana claims the app shows the cab was canceled entirely, and Nisha never left the building. Before Nisha can explain, the line violently drops. The date from the radio triggers a memory. Nisha recalls a local news article about a fatal crash on this exact stretch of highway. A cab driver died while his passenger escaped. The date of that accident was July 2, exactly 1 year ago tonight. Panicked, she looks out the windshield. The car is accelerating straight toward a brightly lit police checkpoint. But as the bumper reaches the barricades, the officers turn completely transparent, dissolving into the night air as the car passes right through them. On the dashboard, the digital clock flickers. The seconds stop ticking entirely. The time permanently locks at exactly 3:33 a.m. In the rearview mirror, Mahesh speaks. He confesses he never made it home that night. He is trapped, endlessly reliving his fatal crash. Terrified, Nisha grabs her throat, suddenly feeling the raw indent of a phantom seatbelt wound manifesting on her own neck. By manifesting the same physical injury that killed the driver, Nisha's own body has synchronized with the crash that happened a year ago. She is no longer a passenger. She has become a part of the event itself. Nisha realizes the driver is bound by the geography of his own death. To break the sequence, she commands him to turn the car around and drive back to the site of the impact, a Hanuman temple. The tires grind against the pavement. For the first time all night, the relentless forward momentum of the loop breaks. The vehicle comes to a complete halt outside the temple's glowing red flag. She throws open the door, steps into the freezing air, and grabs the heavy brass bell hanging at the entrance. She rings it with everything she has, praying for release. The ringing cuts sharply to the harsh noise of a busy morning street. Nisha gasps loudly, bolting upright. She is sitting on a bench directly outside her office. Sana is standing over her, holding her phone, explaining that the booking app crashed and no cab ever arrived. Sana sees a friend who fell asleep on a bench. Nisha remembers the cold interior of a white car and a wound that left no scar. Between these two versions of the night, only the data on her phone remains to bridge the gap. Nisha pulls up the app to check her history. The screen flickers, showing her usual recommended driver, Mahesh Patel. Right below his name, a green dot flashes, online now. Her hands shaking, she opens her phone's camera roll. Sitting at the very top is a new, time-stamped photo taken exactly at 3:33 a.m. It shows an empty cab interior, but in the rear-view mirror, Mahesh is staring directly back at her, smiling. When you book that final ride of the night, verify the physical facts. Double-check the plates, check the route, and stay awake, because sometimes an app glitch is an open invitation to a journey with no final destination.